there we go.
Good afternoon.
Live once again, back like a renegade master. Here we go. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Northern Ireland Science Week. As always, this time of year, it's the Science Week for Northern Ireland. But of course, everyone else is welcome to join. If you're not here from Northern Ireland, don't worry about it. You're still welcome. And if you are, give us a shout out if you're here. Always like to see some shout outs if you've got them. Right. We're going to be doing one challenge today because most schools, well, sort of 99% of schools on this are from Northern Ireland who finish early, you lucky things. We're going to be doing one challenge, well, maybe kind of like 1.5, because we're going to be sticking something on the end of it. But I'll be here with Mr. Jones all day. Mr. Jones, tell us about this film festival you got going on.
Yes, so we have got a film festival. So this is a competition in filmmaking. So if you're interested in using Express and you enjoy using Express to work with film, there's loads of different ideas there on the website as well. So you could make a spoken word film, which is maybe the easiest way to get started. There's some ideas there about animation, about doing kind of a presented piece to camera. So there's loads of different ways that you could do this. So if you're interested, teachers, go along to bit.ly/filmfest25, where you can find out information, look at the tutorials, and register your interest there as well. And actually, the form for submissions is opening up this week as well.
Nice.
No rush though. You've got plenty of time to get your submissions in. But if you do want to get it done in a week, then you could, because that form will be open this week as well.
Right, challenge page for today. You can see it on the bottom on the scrolly. It's bit.ly/NIScience25. And if you open that up, it should look a little bit like this. Oh, yes. I forgot about the rules. So anyway, you can see on the challenge page, you've got the QR code there as well. If you've got an iPad or something like that, you can scan that QR code. It'll take you straight through here. But we have our rules as always. So Mr. Jones, would you like to run through the rules?
Yeah, if we're going a bit too fast for you, then feel free to pause the live stream. Saying that, we are going to be doing everything twice. Dom's on the browser and I am on the iPad, which are really similar in how they work. But we are going to be passing back and forth, which gives you a bit more time. But if we're still going too fast, then feel free to pause us and continue playing as it suits you.
Very good. Continue.
Okay, rule number 2. At the end of the day, about 4 p.m., Dom will be sending out an email to you teachers that are registered with a certificate for everybody who's taken part today, whether you stayed for the 1.5 activities or if you've just done the first one. There is a certificate for you for taking part. So teachers, make sure that you are actually registered by going to bit.ly/Adobe Leaders. Otherwise, you won't get that email. Okay. And then finally, rule number 3 is our Express School Challenges, where you can earn swag and a pizza party. So
very nice.
Do you want to talk about that, Tom?
No, you go for it.
All right, I will then. Okay, fine. So an Express School Challenge is if you get more children in your school involved in the activities you've done on the live lesson. Now, they don't have to come along live because, you're here now. So they can use the recording of this live lesson by clicking on the same link as your teachers have used to come along live. Other classes in your school can come along, can click on that link and watch the recording of today's live lesson. And if you get either 100 children or everybody from P5 to P7, or that's year 4 to year 6 for the rest of us, to take part in the activities that we've done in the live lesson. It can just be the first activity, that's fine. Then that counts as an Express School Challenge. Take some photos so that you've got some evidence. And then at the bottom of the challenge page, you can send in your evidence and you will get some swag sent to your school. If you do that 3 times, so if you do 3 Express School Challenges, then you'll get swag every time. But then on the 3rd one, you'll get swag and a pizza party on Adobe. So how's that?
Indeed you will. Yeah, amazing. And we actually had our first in Northern Ireland maybe about 5 days ago, I think. Mr. Rouse, he was the first winner ever in Northern Ireland, which was amazing. And go to that link you can see on the screen now, bit.ly/Express Award. That's where you can see the rules and also submit your work. But enough of that. Let's get going? Where do we need to go? Here. There we go. Right. So you can see on the challenge page here, make an intergalactic infographic using the facts below. Include different types of charts to bring them to life. You've got a button here, which is text for iPad users. It can be tricky getting text on the screen and copying it using an iPad. So for those of you who are on a browser, no problem. You've got all the text you can see here on the scrolly that I've got going down. But otherwise, if you're on an iPad, click the button, which is just above here, text for iPad users, and you'll get all of that opened up. Now, what are we trying to create? Well, we're going to create something like this at the bottom. You can have a little look at that. But we're going to do it in kind of 2 stages.
Cool.
The first stage is going to be creating a static graphic. And then once we've created that static graphic, then we're going to be turning it into something a little bit more jazzy with some music, a soundtrack. You're going to have some video background on it as well, all that kind of thing. So you're going to be creating 2 kind of artifacts in one. But let's get going. So I'm going to be sharing on the browser, but it is exactly the same really on the iPad as well. Just a few very, very minor differences. So let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do is going to go and click this create a graphic on the right-hand side. It's going to open up here. What's the first thing we're going to do, Mr. Jones?
You're going to name your project, of course.
Yeah. NI Science infographic. That'll do for mine. And as long as you haven't named something else like that, it will rename it for you. And it's all saving automatically, which is amazing. And then we're going to go to the left-hand side and go to elements. And then we're going to go to backgrounds here. I want one background for my entire kind of infographic. And you'll see from our page, if I just go back here, and this is all about space, science, and humans. And so if we go back now to this tab, what are we going to search for in the background? Well, I'm going to search for solar system. Now, what I'm looking for, now there's all sorts of really cool stuff in here. But one piece of advice that I would give you is that you kind of want something which isn't particularly busy. And the reason for that is because you're going to be putting lots of different kind of facts and figures and graphs and progress bars and all sorts of things like this. So you kind of don't want something necessarily like this, because that's got lots of things that's going to draw the attention of the eye. Something like this is better. But I think the one I'm going to go for is this one. I love that. A big swirly. That's probably the Milky Way, isn't it? I don't know.
I'm not going to disagree.
Like I'm not going to disagree. There we go. So we got a background in there. And then we'll do one more thing, which is put in a title. So I'm going to go to text, add your text, and you see it pops that straight in there. Well, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to go and get this space, science, and humans. I've got it as my subtitle in the challenge page, but then I'll go back here and I can just paste that in. That's if you're just too lazy to type it in like me. Now you can see you've got a whole mix of uppercase and lowercase going on here. So let's go to text layouts. Let's become designers in 2 clicks. Go to dynamic. Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Great. I like that. Now, if I put it to the top where I want it, it's suddenly getting lost here. I'm not into that at all. So how am I going to kind of change that up? Well, first thing I'm going to do is going to censor it. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to decide to do, what am I going to do with this? I think I'll make the text white so you can actually see it.
That's better.
That's the first thing we're going to do. Then I'm going to put an outline on it. Maybe I'll go to more colors down here. Maybe I'll select something like this. Now you can't really see it that much. You can sort of see it. But if you click on this outline thickness here, you can bring that up. Nice. And then not only that, but I'm also going to go to effects. This has changed slightly maybe from the last time you logged on to Express. But if you go to effects here, what I'm going to go for is a glow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then if you click it again, you see you've got this kind of double slider in here. You can see this little double slider.
Yeah.
Then let me just get back out there. Click that. And then you can decide what color you want that to be. So maybe I want my glow. Text is white. Yeah. And the shadow maybe is going to be, let's go more colors. Maybe like an orange. And you can see that just gives it that little glow, which I think is lovely. There we go. So that's good. I actually might change the text font as well.
Oh, yeah,
but you don't need to watch me do that. So I think we'll go over to Jonesy and see what he's got going on the iPad.
There we go. Hello, welcome to the iPad, guys. As you can see, it is basically the same. We're doing the same thing all the time. It's the same as Dom's browser view. So that's all I'm going to do is tap on the big green tile that you've got there that says graphic. Oh, create a graphic. I was trying to click on my iPad with my computer mouse there. That's
nice.
That's what I am today, guys. So strap yourselves in. It's going to be bumpy today. Right. And the first thing Dom did was name his project. So let's just tap up there in the top left. And then I'm going to triple tap. It's going to not select it all. There we go. Try it again. And this is NI Science Poster 25. I'm calling it. Okay, and we want a background. So I'm going to go to Elements. That's on your left-hand side, all the way down the bottom there on the left-hand side toolbar. And I'm going to scroll across here on this Elements panel to Backgrounds. And I'm going to search in here. So I can search for space. Okay. So that's going to give me 7,575 results. That's a lot of results.
Nice.
So I could search for space neon. That'd be quite cool. 581 results. So scroll down, and then that's really cool. It's kind of like a computer game from when Dom and I were young lads.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Perfect. It's not very busy, is it? That's good.
Yeah. But you can see there's loads of great ones in here. And those colors are going to help me out as well, I think. So now I'm just going to add some text. So that's the T on the left-hand side, T for text, add your text. And I'm going to type in here, space, comma, science, and humans. There we go. So I think I spelled it all correctly because I can't really see at the moment. The reason I can't see is because this text is black. So let's just change the color over here on the left. There we go. Great. And I liked what Dom did there with the dynamic text layout. So you can see here underneath where I choose my text color, we've got default, and then we've got text layouts. Let's tap on that and let's choose dynamic. Cool. And then you can just mess around with it a bit. You know, I quite like it like that. That's cool. Humor. So you can decide which words you want to kind of draw most attention to. I think I'm going to try it like this. Saying that, I don't know what's coming up. So maybe this is going to be too big. We'll see. I'll find out later on. Right. Outline. Definitely want an outline. So you can see underneath here the bold, italic, underline. Underneath, we've got the font color here. And next to that, you've got the outline color. But what I do first is just put any old outline on there first and then sort out the color. So bring up the outline thickness. And then now let's sort out the color. And I'm going to grab one of these cool colors that I've got on my design. So I'm going to use the eyedropper tool that you got up there on the top. And I can just drag it around. What about this color? There we go. That looks
nice.
Marvelous. And then font, yeah, as Dom says, we can just drop that down. You can go to recommended fonts. I want something that looks really nice and modern and bold. That's awesome. That's very kind of Star Trek. I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
And then, oh yeah, and Dom did a glow as well. So under effects at the top, so you got edit and effects is next to it. Dom went for a glow. And here, maybe I can go for a lighter color. So again, let's pick a color that we've got, but a light one. Maybe this kind of cold blue. There we go.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Your color picker actually came up that time. That's the first time it's ever come up.
Is it? I thought, all right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. There we go. So I'm there.
Very nice. Okie dokie. Right. When I was doing mine, I actually went to the font and just started typing space, and there was one called Space Mono.
Oh, cool.
Which is quite cool. Yeah. So, yeah, you've got all sorts going on here. You can do italic, bold, bold, italic. Yeah, maybe bold, italic. That's great. Okay, so I do think it's important to have the right color text, but then an outline, and I think the glow really lifts it up, which is great. So next thing we're going to do is, let me just go back to this page. What you'll see here, and open up the text for iPad users if you need to, is we've got 1, 2, 3 bits of text which we need to put in there. The rest of the stuff, like these bullet points, for example, they're going to go into our data. We're going to have data on ours, and also this 86%. But essentially, you've got 3 pieces of text. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to get my first one, copy it, go back here. I'm going to add my text, paste it in. Now, all I want to do with this, I actually might change this back to like Source Sans Pro or something like that. What was it called? Source Sans Pro. Yeah, Source Sans Pro. Do you know what? Any sort of text that is very readable. That's what you want. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in there. I'm not too worried about sizing and stuff like that right now because I need to do my graphics first. More my data first. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an outline on it. And then I'm going to bring that outline up, I think. There we go. That makes it much more readable. Sort of about 40%, so no, 45, not percent, it's just a number. 45 is good. And then what I might do is just reduce this down to something round about here and play around with the size of the box. Right. That is roughly how I want it to look generally. Maybe I'll change this to bold. Yeah, that makes it a bit more readable again, which I think is good. But essentially, that piece of text there is exactly what I want all my pieces of text to look like. So now that that's done, I can give that a click, 3 dots, duplicate. Bring that down to another point, doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to go back to this tab. Next one, copy. Go back to my graphic, triple click inside there, and paste it in. And the reason why we do it like that is because it means you don't have to go in, select your font, select the size of font, select the outline, all of that kind of stuff. You just do it once, and then you can just 3 dots, duplicate, bring that down. Then I'm going to go and get my next bit of text. There we go. Copy that. Well, actually, yeah, for this one, what I found when I was doing my tests here is that actually it's probably better that you copy all of this, because the data, if you look at carbon dioxide and argon down here, the percentages are so small that it can actually be minuscule on your, we're going to do a pie chart for this one. So actually for this third one, I think I'll select all of it, copy, go back to this tab, and I've got my I've got my third piece of text here, and then just paste that in. And now all my text is done here. All my text is done. So I think we'll just go through that with you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
And just show them how to put that text in.
Cool. Okay. So we need to get to the challenge page. So let's just jump over. So I've got it open on Chrome. Maybe you've got it open on Safari or another browser on your iPad. Here it is. So if I just tap on that, it'll try opening the Google Docs app on my iPad. And I don't need to do that. I just need to get to the published doc. So I hold my finger down on it and open it in a new tab. There we go. And it's going to open that up on Chrome rather than try and open up another app on your iPad.
Very clever.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Right. So the first piece of text is this one here, 86%. So let's just grab that. Okay. And as you can see, selecting text is easier when you've got it on something like a plain text like this rather than from a web page. So drag your finger over and tap copy. Okay, let's jump back over to the Express app. So here it is. And let's bring in a text box. So I'm going to go to text on the left, add your text. Here we go. Now then, on the iPad, we need to use you could hold your finger down. You could go to 3 dots and paste, but actually that's not the easiest way to do it. The easiest way to paste on the iPad is right here.
Yes.
Right here, my head. You see the scissors and then the pieces of paper, but the third icon along here where I'm pointing is the paste icon above the number 1 on my keyboard. So if I tap that, it just straight away pastes that text in.
Nice.
Now, once again, I can't really see it, so I could change the color of this text, but I like Dom's idea of keeping that black and adding an outline. So you know how to do this. You go to Edit, and then let's bring up the outline first of all. I'm going to go all the way to the max again. I love a thick outline, I do. There we go. And then that's done. So now I can just bring down the size. I can use the long handles to change my line breaks. And I'm bearing in mind that I need this to kind of fit 3 times, and then Dom was kind of filling the right hand 2/3 of the page, so kind of keeping the left third empty. I wonder why. I wonder what he's got.
Yeah, I mean that will change for sure.
Okay.
But it just keeps it kind of neat for now.
So that looks fine for my text. I quite like that, and I've kept the same font as I've got for my title. I could see is there something else here under the same font family. Maybe I could go for a condensed regular. Maybe try that. No,
Nice.
yeah, I don't think it's as clear. I'm going to undo that. I think that's clearer. Right, so that's done. So now I'm just going to duplicate this twice. So 3 dots, duplicate as my first copy. And then let's do the same again. We're going to do 3 dots, duplicate. Bring that down. Okay, and now I can just jump back over to my browser, to the challenge page. And you didn't copy all of this stuff, did you?
No, just not the I did copied number 2. Don't need to copy the data because we're going to use a chart for that, which is
copy
clear.
that. Okay, got you. Yeah, got you. Maybe.
But then for the third one, I think because those percentages are so small of carbon dioxide and argon, I think it's good to have the data in there.
Right, so swapping text on the iPad, similar to on the browser. I'm just going to tap to open that up. And then once it's opened up my keyboard, I can triple tap on the text. Tap, tap, tap. And there we go, selected it all. And now remember, up here by my head, we've got the paste button. So let's just tap on that. And there it is. That's the easiest way for you to replace on the iPad. Jump back over. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to drag my finger over all of this stuff that we want.
Yeah.
Skip back over to Express. Tap on the text box, and it's going to select it. Tap it again. It's going to bring up my keyboard. Brilliant. Now that it's brought up the keyboard, triple tap to select it all. Tap, tap, tap. And now I use the paste button, which is here, just to paste in my new text.
Oh, lovely.
And it just happens to fit perfectly. Look at that.
Yeah, that's great. Okie dokie. Right. Let's get over here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to represent this 86% of our mass is stardust, this first one, this top one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over, this may be the first time you've ever used this. We're going to go over to use charts and grids on the left-hand side. Down here, charts and grids. And now you can go to charts up here at the top.
Yeah.
And you can choose whichever one you think is a good fit. Now, I think that I'm going to go for progress half donuts. I'm in a progress half donut mood. So I'm going to give that a click. Now, there's all sorts of things that you can change on here. Now, the first obvious thing we need to change is we need to go from 35 to 86. So you can use the slider. And if you can get it to 86, you're a hero. Brilliant. Well done. Now, the other stuff you can do on here is, I mean, you can even change it mid-flow, you know, to something which is a bit,
that's cool.
You know,
yeah,
bit thinner, a bit thicker.
Oh,
yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff going on here. And then what else can you do? Well, you can change the color of the text. So I'm going to go on this section here, give it a click and go to white. I think that potentially is clearer. And then once I've done that, you can see that you've got these things down the bottom, the green and the blue, and you can see them. If I switch these around, you can see where they are on here. So you can decide what you want to do there. So maybe for my, instead of that green, maybe I'll go to custom. No, I'll go to swatches and more colors. Just keep it quite simple. And maybe I'll do like this kind of spacey orange, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe something like that. And then for my blue one, I can give that a click, go to more colors. And then maybe that'll be like, yeah, it's kind of clashing with the background a bit. So maybe not that, but maybe I can choose one of the colors, which is quite similar to my glow around my text.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to, you can make it exact by using your color dropper tool and then getting in there. And that's exact. And you know what? That looks better. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pop it there. I'm going to stretch it out like that. Maybe make it even bigger. Nice. Kind of pop it around about here. And then I'm going to bring this. Well, there's two ways I can do it, actually. With it selected, I can go to 3 dots and I can do send backward or send to back. And then it'll just pop over and just behind that text. And I kind of like that, really, because, you can also, stretch the box out here so that it kind of, maybe stretches across the whole page, something like that. Because I don't think you need to see all of that progress bar. You kind of need to see the difference between the 2 colors. That's the most important thing, and the 86%.
Yeah.
So rather than kind of have to have space for every single thing on this page, if I start to play with, my layers, because that's the other way you can do this. You can use your layers to put it in the right place. Then it gives you a little bit more space for other data on this graphic. So, Mr. Jones, why didn't you have a crack at just that first progress bar?
Yeah, great. Okay, so let's go to, on the left-hand side, right down at the bottom, then underneath elements, you can see there charts and grids. Okay, so we're going for charts. And I'll just try and do something slightly different to Dom so that we can see, so Dom went for a progress half donut. So I'll go for a progress bar, so you can see those are just up here. It basically works exactly the same as the half donut. It just looks like a bar instead. So I'm going to go with this one. So there it is. And then you can straight away kind of stretch it out across your page, that kind of thing. Right, so it's 86%. So you could type it in, but, it's way more fun to do this, isn't it? Definitely more fun to try and find
for sure.
There it is. But you could definitely type it in. It's chosen this Source Sans 3 font, which Dom's actually got on his poster, but I don't. So I'm going to change that. And you'll see when you tap it, it says, here are the fonts you've got in use. And it's got Source Sans 3 and then this League Gothic Italic. And that's the font that I'm actually using. So I'm going to choose that font. There we go. And then I can choose colors. So again, I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. So I'm going to tap on the first color here. And I'm going to just find a nice light color that I've got here. So there's this kind of blue in my background there. And then let's change the other color. And let's grab maybe this cool shade of purpley pink up there. That's cool. So the text isn't very visible. So you can see underneath my font picker there, I can choose, maybe I'll have a white text. That works better for me. Yeah, there we go. So now that I've done that, I could, as Dom did, stretch this text out. I could even maybe center it using the alignment button, which is here on the left-hand side.
Nice.
And just pop that up. And those pink guidelines are helping me to keep everything centered. Just there. All right, cool.
Beautiful. Right. So one thing that is really interesting about this is that if you do click on your graphic, for example, and then go over to the slider, which is on the left-hand side here, you actually do have more options for things like rounded corners. You see that? Which is quite cool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
also the thickness of your progress bar, which is kind of cool. I like that a lot. And I think the rounded corner I'm going to keep, which is cool. And you can turn off and on the label.
Yeah, and I'm using the thickness right now. You don't need to show it, but that actually changes your font size. So if you think your font is too small, then I'm actually, the thickness has helped me get my font bigger, which I think.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Let's go for our second one. So how long would it take us to travel to the 4 closest planets traveling at a speed of just a mere 50,000 miles per hour? So what are we going to do here? Well, we want to still be on charts and grids. We want to scroll up, I think, for this one. Yeah, we want to go to bar charts. Now I'm going to view all in bar charts. Now, you'll kind of have to sort of, have a look here at which one you think is going to work. I think what I want is I want something. Here we go. I want something which is kind of minimalist, I suppose. Do we want to have an axis on there? Well, do you know what? I think we probably do, because that's how we want to teach it in schools. So, I mean, we should probably try and keep up with that as much as possible. So maybe I'll go for something like this one here. Right. It goes straight in. And now you've got to mess around with it. So let's get this bigger on the screen so we can see it. Now, the first thing to do would be to go over and get all your data. So we'll not actually go over and get it because it's not really, well, I suppose it is a copy and paste thing. So I could go to Venus and copy that and then go back. Ooh, wrong one. Go back to here. And then in item number 1, I would have Venus. And then the next, so it's Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. So I can type those in. Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. Right. Now it got values down here. So how long would it take us? And the values are in days. So we're going to go, if we have a look back at this, it's 32, 40, 42.5, 306. Okay. So you may want to work with partners on this one so that you can feed each other the data. That's probably quite a cool way of doing it. So here I'm going to go, Venus was
32.
32. Mercury was
40.
40. Mars 42.5.
Yeah.
And then 306 for Jupiter. Cool. Now look at this. Like Jupiter's absolutely storming it. Just completely bashing everybody out of the way here. So what we need to start thinking about here is, where is this going to be positioned? So what I think I'm going to do here is kind of pop it up in so that it kind of sticks into this gap I've got to the side of my progress bar. Now, I actually think maybe I should go back here and maybe take off those lines. If you see those lines that I had on before, it's making it a bit busy. So maybe I will take the lines off, and then maybe I'll go over to my text. Now I want to try and select the text that's, if I have a look here, I want to try and select the text which is behind this chart here. And every time I click on it, it's only giving me the chart. So top tip from Nicole O'Connor, who's on these often, is select it in your layer stack. And then you can move it across. Nice. So I'm going to pop that in there. And then all I need to do now is select my graph again and then start playing around with colors. So I want to kind of keep as many colors as possible that I've already got in my theme. So maybe I'll go select on Jupiter here, and then maybe I can use my dropper tool and select the kind of coral red in the progress bar. Then maybe I'll go to Mars and I'll select, maybe I'll go something different this time. Maybe I'll go to more colors and maybe like, yeah, like a sort of mustardy yellow, I suppose. I suppose you just got to make them pop off the page a bit. That blue will work, I think. Then for Mercury, maybe I'll go for the purple that I've used before. And then last but not least, we've got Venus. I don't know, try that green. Yeah, that works fine.
Cool.
Now, the other thing that you can do on here, and this will be entirely sort of dependent on what kind of background you've got. But if I'm looking at my data, I can see it, but it's not the clearest. I'd have to admit that it's not the clearest. So maybe I'd go in here and select it and go to white. That's not bad. And if I change it to bold, that makes it even better.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that is better. And then maybe I'd select my text box here and maybe squash it up a bit so that it just makes it a bit chunkier. And then if I zoom out here, I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I might change is I might change the colors around. Maybe I'd go Jupiter can be like the blue, for example. And then maybe I'd go Mars. You can be this kind of coral red here.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that mixes it up a little bit, but still keeps it all tied in. Right. Jonesy, off you go. Get yourself a chart.
So I'm still in charts and grids on the left-hand side, still on charts right up at the top, but this time I want a bar chart. So I'm just going to grab the first one that's there because we can make those changes later on as Dom just showed us. So let's get the data sorted first. So it was Venus is 32 days. So Venus, and that's 32. Then it was, remind me.
32, 40.
What's the next planet?
42. Oh, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter.
Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter. Right. Okay. Venus. I was just too lazy to swap over. Mercury. Right. And then Mars. And then Jupiter. Okay. So then we got 32. Then 40. Then
32, 40, 42.5.
42.5 and
306.
Okay, that's done. Right. So that's set up. Now then, you can also you can shift these around. Okay. So say if I wanted it actually to start off, this is going from smallest to biggest at the moment. So actually, maybe I want Jupiter to be over on the left hand side. So I can go in on the left hand side here and just go move row above. You see, I can just move these up.
Very
because
cool.
For my chart, I think it makes more sense that I go biggest to smallest rather than the other way around. So I can do here, move row above, and then let's just bring this 32 down. There we go. That's done. Okay. So now what I can do is I can stretch that. So when you stretch, you see it'll actually change your chart layout. Okay.
Very cool.
So you don't have to. It doesn't have to stay in the same proportion. You can make this a really wide rectangle like this, and you can squash down the height as well, like that. So I can kind of do it so that it tucks around my my piece of text there. Okay. So as Dom said, I don't think I need these grid lines. I think they're a bit too distracting. So let's just go now into the options. Up at the top left, you can see the settings icon that we see on everything that's got settings. It's the circle with the two sliders on it. So when I tap that, I can choose, right, do I want a legend? Legend. Yes, I do. Do I want values? Maybe I do. Do I want a grid? No, I don't. Do I want labels? Yeah, I probably do. No, I don't think I do. And then you can do things like roundness. Again, that's really cool, right?
Oh, nice.
Very cool, actually. Yeah, you can do that kind of thing. Now then, let's go to the text. So the text, yeah, is definitely going to need to be white. There we go. That's helped a lot. I think the font size needs to come up. There we go.
Oh, that's much better.
Let's grab the same font that I used, the League Gothic. And I can still kind of just do little tweaks like this. Yeah, I think that's working for me. There we go. So was there something else I want to show you? No, I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. You could also stretch that text box out so it kind of goes onto two lines potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Give you a bit of space above the data.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So just
it
maybe
almost fits slightly too long. Yeah.
That's fine, I think.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, cool. Good idea, Dom. Thanks.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Right. Let's have a look here. So we're nearly finished on this one. So we've only got our final bit of data to go in. And this is, we're going to put a pie chart in. Who doesn't love a pie chart? Oof. Now, what I might do here is give myself a little bit more space by squeezing my box, just so it's a little bit tighter. And then what I think I'm going to do is I can go back from bar charts here, go down to pie charts, view all. Right. I think I'm just going to do one where this one here, where it has all the values around the edge, which is cool. So now I need to work on my items and my values down here. So if I go here, we've got nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and carbon dioxide. Right. So there's going to be a lot of cutting and pasting to do here, or copying and pasting. So got that first one. Come on, I'm all at 6 and 7s here. So let's go nitrogen, and then the next one was oxygen. Next one was argon. Next one was carbon dioxide. Okay, now the values. Now this is interesting. Now they are very sort of specific percentages.
Yeah.
So I'm going to copy that first one and then go back here and in the values, paste that in. Now, you will have to probably go back and forth between them all because unless you can work with a friend again who can just shout out your data, otherwise, I am basically just going back and forth between the two and getting them in. But it is a good way of you getting more comfortable with these smaller kind of percentages and decimal points and stuff like that. So let's grab them and stick them all in. Now, what you will see with carbon dioxide in particular is that it is so small that, in fact, you almost lose sight of it entirely.
Oh, yeah.
It's so small. And it's only really when you zoom in that you can see that it's just the tiniest of slithers down there.
Oh, gosh.
It's so small. There it is.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why I recommended that you keep your values down here in your text box, you see. So if we grab that, bring it down, resize. I mean, I might need to do a right job on this. So let's just zoom in so we can see what we're doing. So if I click on this box, let's change the text immediately to white. Well, that's good because you can see it now. But what you can't see is that actually carbon dioxide is so small that you actually don't get any text on there, which is one of the reasons why I said you should keep it down the bottom here.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, interesting. But let's go and change some of our colors. What I might do is keep some of the same colors that we've had up here, for example. And you can, I'm just using my dropper tool to change them. Going and selecting the ones from the bar chart above. And then you can see carbon dioxide. Maybe I'll change that to white to make it even just ever so slightly visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one thing I had noticed before, actually, if you look at my background, it's got this text at the bottom which says vector background. Well, I don't want that. I don't want that on mine.
What is that on?
I know, I've never seen that before. I saw it in my test, actually. But I'm just positioning my pie chart so you can see all the text and all the rest of it. But now let me get rid of this vector background. So I'm going to select this, and then you can, where did I see it? I can't even remember now. Adjust. Oh no, position. It's in position now. No, it's not in position. Where is it? There's a reframe somewhere.
You just have to double click on it. That'll open it up as well.
Oh yeah, there you go. Double click on it. Well done, Jones. And
yeah,
then,
there did used to be a button called reframe. You're right.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to center that again. And now I've got my pie chart in there, which is cool. I've got rid of that vector background thing. And I've got my text in here, which is showing carbon dioxide, even though it's only so very small that you can see it on the white kind of thing there. But I thought that was quite interesting, the fact that it was so small. So there you go. That's your pie chart. Let's get a pie chart in there.
All right, then. Let's go.
There you go.
Okay, so charts and grids, left-hand side, charts at the top. And yeah, we're going to go for a pie chart again. And I'm just going to grab any old one for now. We can always change them later on. Okay, so there's no getting away from this. Oh yeah, I remember now. What I didn't do on the other one was change the colors on my chart. I knew there was something I could do with my bar chart.
Yeah.
Right, nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide. Nitrogen, and then this is oxygen, argon is in. Hey, dude, I'm trying to select you. Argon, and this is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. There we go. Right, so now let's get the numbers in. So 78.084. 78.084. So 78.084. Yeah.
Next one. 20. Yeah. Oh, sorry. When you're ready.
Yeah. Go for it.
20.946.
20.946. Yes.
0.934.
934. Yes.
0.042.
0.042. Alrighty. Okay, so there we go. There's my chart. It's there. So again, I can go into chart types. I can decide, right, what do I want? Oh, tell you what, let's get my font up as white first, and let's get that text size up. Let's change my font to the font that I've been using. Okay, so now that I can see things clearer, let's make some decisions. So do I want the legend? No, I don't think I do. And then do I want the labels? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do want that. And then do you want to show that as percentage? Because it kind of is a percentage. No, I'll leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Okay.
Well, it is a percentage, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense, yeah.
I wonder if I split up the two smallest ones, is it going to show the carbon dioxide? Do you know what I mean? So if I move...
Right.
Yeah, it does, look. Because the two smallest pieces of data are right next to each other. That's why it's hiding one of the text boxes, because they're right next to each other.
Right.
So by moving them in the list, it actually now shows carbon dioxide up there.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for mine, it's going to work better if this is over this side and that my text is over on this side. Maybe I can do a bit of this.
Nice, yeah.
I think that kind of balances out a little bit better. And then you can just mess around with sizing. And of course, colors. So just to show this super quick, I quite like the thing is the colors actually work really well. But let's just change one. The nitrogen, let's just grab the eyedropper and let's use this cool purple. And then I really like these recommendeds as well. Those are cool. So you can choose the same color again, this purple, but then look, you've got recommended colors. So you can use these. So you can actually just set all of them to the same color and then grab a recommended color, and it's going to give you loads of different colors that tone.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
And I'll do the same with this bar chart. Okay, so if I just choose one color using the eyedropper, so this blue over here, and then if I do that for all of them, like this, maybe I'll do that first. So I'll set them all to the same color, this blue. And then rather than going kind of hunting for different colors for all of them, you can now go into the recommended colors and it'll give you kind of colors that tone in with this first color that you got picked. Something like that. There we go.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Right. Well, fantastic stuff. So now that we've done that, you've basically got like a graphic which you can download, you can print out, you can share with whoever you like, and that is the usual way of doing things. Which you've got the download button up here. If you give that a click, and then you can choose the file format, whichever one you want, best for printing, blah blah blah. But then also you've got the share button. Now, before we share, though, what I want to do is show you how to make this into something which is even cooler. So what you'll see is just above in this kind of white ribbon here, you've got this button with a box that says view all pages. Give it a click, because what you'll see here is that you have one kind of static graphic which you've created. Now, if you go to the duplicate page button, which is the one with the plus in it, with the two boxes next to each other, you got add a new page. You don't want that. You want duplicate page. If you give it a click, you've now got two versions of the same page. Now you'll be thinking, well, why bother even doing that? And that's because if you've got page 1 of 2 here, which is your static graphic, use your arrow, which is over here, to go to your second page. Now we can turn this into a video. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to go to media on the left-hand side. We're going to go to videos, search video, and I'm going to go solar system again. Okie dokie. Now, there's all sorts of mad videos in here, which are really cool. But the one that I found, that one's good as well.
No gosh.
I haven't looked at that one before. But this one here, I thought was really cool. So if you give it a click, it's just going to go in and it's tiny. I don't understand why it goes in so tiny, but there you go. Now, if I go and kind of stretch it out like that, do you know what? I remember trying to find this last time. Not position, not adjust. I'm trying to fill it. Fill video. It's right there. This is a new button. Fill video.
Yeah, it just used to be a little text button, didn't it?
Yeah. So fill video is here now. Give that a click. And what you'll see is it now kind of does exactly what it says on the tin. It kind of puts it right on your page. Let me just refresh my page, because sometimes Express doesn't center itself very well. And so I'm just going to get that on here. Right. Edit timeline. Now you can see here that we've now got a video and I've got a timeline at the bottom here. So I can play this. And there's all sorts of crazy, mad stuff going on here. And I like this a lot. It's a great background. The sun's just going to come across the screen now. So I'm thinking this is amazing. And I want this to be my background.
That looks amazing.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it down in my layer stack until everything I want to be on top is there. And you'll see I've still got my background in there, but I've just put the video on top of it. So now if I have a little zoomy in, get rid of you can see what I did there on the edit timeline. There's a little down arrow there. If you click that, it means you can see it better. So now I'll drag my play back to the start and just check that this all works. I can still see all of my text because of all those outlines that we put on there. The data, which we did in white, occasionally we lose it, but still generally it's very, very readable. And that is how you create a kind of video infographic of the work that you've just put together. And I've still got my static graphic, which is there, but now I also have a video. So Jones, let's see if you can stick a video, if you can create another page in your project and then put a video in there.
Okay, so we want to keep this as it is. So let's go all the way up to the top right-hand corner underneath your avatar. Right in the top right-hand corner, you see that little plus in a circle. So let's just tap on that. And you'll see there, then the third option down is to duplicate. So let's just duplicate. And here we go. Here's my new version of this. Okay, so what I basically want to do is swap my background. So I could go in, bring it and set it, but what I could do is replace my background that I've already got with a video. Okay, so first of all, I just need to select my background. So you could tap on it, just go to the corner of your canvas, tap on your background. If your background's really busy, then you can use the trick Dom showed you just now, just tap on it in your layer stack. That's selected it. Okay, so I want to swap this background, this space neon space background, for a video rather than a still image. So you can see with it selected right down the bottom of my screen, you can see that little replace button. So if I tap on that, I can choose now what I'd like to replace my background with. Well, I'd like to replace it with a video this time. You can see that's one of the options there is video. So if I tap on that, and there we go. That's what I searched for earlier, was space neon. Okay. So you've got all these cool neon backgrounds. So they definitely kind of are in keeping with the design. Theme. Yeah, with the theme. Thanks. Yeah. So I'm just going to pick one of these, maybe this one.
Ooh,
there we go.
That one could be great.
And what it's done there is, because it's replacing the background, it's kind of done all the resizing for me. So I can just click play there now. And there we go. And I've got this cool,
amazing
neon background thing going on there.
Looks like you're traveling at 50,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to get to Venus first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, no, there is something else to do. Hang on. Yeah, okay. So you got your video background, which is great. But of course, nothing would be complete without sticking a track on there.
Yeah.
So if you're not already there, just go over to media and then you select audio, or you can go to add audio at the bottom here. Add audio, which is a nice way. Now I've been searching for solar system, which, isn't really going to find any tracks for you. But if you put in something like ambient, then you'll get all sorts of stuff going on there. And then you can have a little play. Ooh. That is definitely not the one I want.
Sounds like it's got a supermarket.
Yeah.
Or a lift.
Yeah, it's got QVC on. And then this is the one. This is the bad one. I've got that selected. I'm going to stick it in there. Now, normally, whenever we do these kind of put these tracks on, normally we adjust the volume because often we've got voiceover on there. But this is one of the rare occasions when you can just let that audio track do the work for you. Give it a little click. Oh, sorry, I was going to try and make it a bit bigger. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Tremendous. All of that data blowing people's minds, and the right soundtrack is going to help them blow their minds even more. The only thing that I probably would do with this track is if I select it, I'd probably fade it out.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. 2-second fade, and that'll do. Go on, Jones. Let's see it.
Yeah, so music, we go to media on the left-hand side, and then this time we're going to scroll over and we're going to tap on audio. And I'm just going to scroll down, and I think, with my neon colors, I think there may be something electronic is going to... Let's just scroll down to get away from all the ones I've listened to before. 80s fuel injection synth pop. I think I found it. What's this sound like? Let's have a listen.
Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's perfect.
Reminds me of Ulysses.
And as Dom says, at the end, we don't want that to just kind of, judder to a halt. So we want to fade that out at the end as well. So let's have a look. Let's just bring down my timeline and hit play. I love it. It's cool. Yeah.
It's absolutely superb. I really like the way it looks like it's actually doing the 50,000 miles an hour traveling to the nearest planet.
Yeah.
That's absolutely superb. Right. So that is going to wrap us up just under an hour as promised. Let's just show you how to share really quickly. One of the really cool things about this is that if you press share now, and create a view any link. Obviously, you can send it to Google Drive, OneDrive, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, but actually it will give you a link which links to both your static graphic and your video. So all of your work in one place. And the only thing you need to do is press create link, and it'll do all of that work for you. There we go. Nice. Well done, everybody. Right, that's a wrap for Northern Ireland Science Week. What a tremendous intergalactic journey we've been on. What other non-intergalactic things are coming up? Go on, Mr. Jones.
Well, we've got Cyber Scotland Week, which everyone's welcome to come along to. Learning about, some cyber facts. And then we've got St. David's Day coming up. So if you'd like to learn more about the patron saint of Wales, then come along to that. And on the same week, but at the end of the week, it's the big one, which is, of course, World Book Day. And we've put...
Massive.
2 sessions on for you for World Book Day, just in case World Book Day itself is really busy. Then you can also come along on the day before. I think it's the day before, yeah.
5th and 6th.
Yeah, so you can do the World Book Day activities the day before World Book Day if you want, if you're really busy on World Book Day. So loads of options, and you can register for those by going to bit.ly/Adobe Leaders. If you are posting anything to social media to share that you've joined us for NI Science Week today, then tag us in as well, guys. We'd love to see you busy using Express in class. Makes us happy, makes us smile.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do want to get involved in the Express School Challenge, go to bit.ly/Express Award, where you'll see all the details, and you can submit your work in order to get your swag. Right, look at that. Right on time. Thanks, everyone. And hopefully we'll see you at one of these sessions coming soon. Take it easy.
Bye.